Well, we went through the trouble to bring the camera and all the SD cards, and apparently both of us thought the other one was grabbing the batteries. So we're filming this on my phone. If the quality and sound is lacking, that's why. But
it's also very windy out here today.
Yeah, but I think we maybe have found a little spot that the wind isn't too bad. I hope so. So yeah, today is our last day in Two Medicine Campground. I don't think we're finished in Glacier. I think we're just going to move over to the west side for a couple of days. We're trying to make the best of our last day. We haven't had the greatest start to our time in Glacier. We had 6 days straight of
cold and rain,
awful weather.
Yeah.
And then the first somewhat decent day we had, we went for a drive, and we're still not sure what we've done to the van.
Still working on it.
I believe the plan is, see, the thing is, we're 40 miles from the closest town that has an auto parts store. So I believe rather than driving the 40 minutes to that town and then the 40 minutes back to our campground, what we've decided to do is drive the hour and a half to 2 hours west, which is the direction we're heading in ultimately.
Right. To a much larger town that has multiple auto parts stores and much easier to get things delivered if we need it, things like that. So.
Based on troubleshooting that we've done with the axle guy, he is pretty confident that it's the locking hub.
The locking mechanism.
Right. We're still questioning if it isn't a wheel bearing. So we have to get somewhere where, number one, we can have things delivered, and number two, we can be close enough to an auto parts store so that if TJ gets it torn apart and needs a part, it's not that big a deal to get to an auto parts store and get what we need without a vehicle. So, like I said, we're trying to make the most of our last day and not let our bad luck so far get us down and not enjoy Glacier. So today we've taken the boat ride out to the end of Two Medicine Lake.
It's about a 30-minute boat ride.
Yep.
Across the lake. I think the lake is 2 miles.
Yeah, it's a 2-mile long lake, but it's 250 feet deep.
And from there, we have hiked up to Upper Two Medicine Lake, which is what you see behind us.
Yeah, this is Upper Two Medicine Lake. Really pretty area, fairly easy 2-mile hike, and then we can go back and catch the boat back, or we can do some more hiking up here, or we could hike around the lake if we wanted to, which is what we did the other day. We did the hike completely around the entire lake. So I think, mosquito. I think that because we've bought a round trip ticket for the boat, we'll definitely take the boat back. Yeah, so just trying to make the most of our time here in Glacier. So we just rock, paper, scissored to decide whether or not to do another trail out here. So if I won, we did the trail. If TJ won, we went back to the boat and went back. So I won, and we are hiking now to No Name Lake.
This is No Name Lake behind us.
It was a much harder hike to get here. There was a lot of elevation gain.
It's only a mile and a half to get here from the other trail, but it was pretty much straight up the whole way. Got to the very top and flattened out a little bit, but the majority of it was up.
But totally worth it.
Totally worth it.
This is awesome.
Lake is like a, I don't know if it comes across on the camera, but it's like a teal blue color, beautiful, clear, crystal clear, and just this really cool teal color.
It's my favorite color. This is my favorite color right here on this lake. It's gorgeous. It's this amazing mixture of blue and green. that just, man, is it gorgeous. Great last day at Two Medicine Campground here in Glacier National Park. I'm really glad that we didn't let all of our bad luck get us down. And
I mean, that's something we've found since the beginning. You really just have to kind of, and it's very hard to do. It's easy to say, but hard to do. You really have to kind of just take things in stride and take them as they come, and you know, roll with it.
Right.
And hope for the best.
Well, we ended up moving to Kalispell. Did I say that right?
Yep.
Which is about an hour outside of Glacier National Park. But we chose to go there because it was the closest large town that had multiple auto parts stores to choose from, since we're dealing with this van wheel issue.
And it also gave us a place that we could actually work on the van some.
True. It was a little bit easier to get work done there.
Yeah, the National Park campground, you know, they're a little bit tight about their rules, and it also wasn't the most level campground I've ever seen. I would have been working on a big slant, so
right.
It worked out well for us that we went to Kalispell.
Absolutely. So TJ did pull the hub of the passenger side front wheel apart and found...
It turns out it's not the actual wheel bearing, but there is a bearing in there that the front axle rides on. That bearing was completely shot. It was just worn out. When I took it apart, it just kind of just crumbled and disintegrated and fell apart. So what I decided to do for the short term is I just pulled the axle.
So our four-wheel drive van is no longer four-wheel drive capable at the moment. The purpose or the reason for not just replacing the hub right now, because we could, it's in stock at the auto parts stores, but we're contemplating doing a hub upgrade because this hub design is apparently awful and non-serviceable. So we are not doing any damage to the van driving it currently. We just don't have four-wheel drive available if we need it, but we know that and we'll avoid situations where we may need it. And we may or may not do the upgrade in the future. We're still
trying to decide the best and most economical resolution.
Right, absolutely. So, you know, our initial stay in Glacier was kind of marred by bad luck between weather and then the van, and so we did a few cool hikes in the Two Medicine area where we were staying, but the one must-do thing in Glacier is the Going to the Sun Road, which we missed. So we decided to drive back into West Glacier this time. We're actually in a super long line at the entrance gate right now. And that's what we're planning to do today, is the Going to the Sun Road. So that, I believe, is why they tell you no towing on this road. That rock face of the mountain came right out into the road. It was
tight. Definitely wouldn't want to be pulling the trailer through there.
No. The restrictions on this road is nothing over 21 feet and nothing wider than 8 feet. So, yeah.
We're pushing close to the limit on the width. Mirror to mirror is the measurement.
Right. But so far, nothing we can't handle. got me wet. We are finishing up in Kalispell. The plan is to move to Flathead Lake, which is really close to where we're at.
It's only like a half an hour.
But the reason we came to Kalispell, of course, was to work on the van, which it served that purpose, but also keep us close enough to Glacier that we could go back in and do the Going to the Sun Road, which we also did.
Yeah.
Which might be the most incredible drive we've done yet.
It's pretty spectacular.
It's always hard to say when you're in the moment, you know, everything seems like the best thing in the moment, but
for me, I think it's neck and neck with the $1 Million Drive.
Yeah, Red Mountain Pass in Colorado was something.
Definitely a must-do, regardless.
Absolutely. Everybody was correct in telling us that we had to do that while we were here, and I'm glad that we made it a point to not miss it. If you're not comfortable driving it, there are other options. You can do a free shuttle.
Yep, that has multiple stops. You can get off at the hiking destinations and then get back on and take it over the pass.
Or you can do the Red Bus Tour, which is a paid tour, but it gives you more information than the shuttles do. Right.
It's a guided tour. You know, they have a narrator that tells you all the history and things like that, but it's fairly expensive.
It's anywhere from like, I think $46 to $106, depending. There's like 8 different routes you can choose from that all leave from different destinations within the park. And we actually really heavily considered doing a Red Bus Tour. In the end, we ended up driving it ourselves. I think we would have learned a lot more and gotten a lot more information if we had opted and paid for the Red Bus Tour.
But we're cheap.
We're paying for a van.
Exactly.
So
but the Red Bus Tour looks cool. They're like old-timey. I think they were built in the 60s. They've been upgraded. They're really nice, and if you've got the time and you've got the money, I think that'd be a great way to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the rangers even recommended to us that we maybe do the Red Bus Tour, but then still go and drive it and explore it on our own. That way, when you're exploring it on your own, you've got the history and the knowledge of what it is you're seeing. So, you know, given more time, I think we'll definitely be back to Glacier. I don't think that we did nearly as much exploring. There are entire parts of that national park that we didn't even get close to.
The northern parts of the park we barely got to see any of. So, and you can actually, it's a partnered park with Canada, so you can actually go across the border into Canada's national park up there. I think it's called Waterton.
Is that right?
I believe so. And so you can travel up there if you have a passport and cross over the border and check out Canada, which would be kind of cool. But yeah, we just didn't get the chance to do that.
Right, exactly. So like we said, moving on to Flathead Lake today.
So if you are liking our videos, make sure you give us a thumbs up.
And if you'd like to follow along on our adventures, please subscribe.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, bye.